Hi guys and girls, Dave back from Player TV. I hope you're all well. Today I'm here with a review of this BIOSTAR B360GT3S. Let's roll the intro. Alright guys and girls, so I thought I'd give you a quick run around the motherboard. Might as well start at the top here. We have the 8-pin EPS power connector. Some solid chokes, and then we move on to the 4-pin CPU power fan connector, and then we have a second one here that's labeled System 1. There's another one at the bottom, so there is in fact only 3 in total on this board, but the first 2 are here. CPUs on the right, system fans on the left. Moving along, we have 4 DDR4 DIMM slots, which you can populate up to 64 gigs of DDR4, 2666 and above. Carrying on to the right, we have 2 50/50 LED fun zone headers, so that's where you can connect 4-pin RGB strips. So there's 2 of those there. 24-pin, that's the 24-pin power there on the right hand side. In the middle we have the LGA 1151 slot. That is supports only 8th gen Core i3, i5 and i7 CPUs. Just a metal, plain metal heatsink here. As you can see, it's just a basic bog standard metal heatsink. Moving on down, just going to push it up so you can see everything there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's 6 SATA 3 6 gigabit a second connectors. So it's nice to still get 6 on a micro ATX motherboard. Here we have the first of the 2 PCI Express 16X slots. This one's wired for 16X, this one's wired for 8X, and then we have a single 1X PCI slot here. And then we can just have another small heatsink on what I would call the south bridge, but yeah, that's just another small metal heatsink there. Front panel connectors here. This is for the power reset and all that stuff here. Next we have a BIOS switch here. That's just the rocker switch there, so you can select between both BIOSes. They've included 2 here which are hardwired onto the board, so you can see here. CMOS clear switch there. Front panel USB 3 connector, and then 2 front panel USB 2s. There's the second 4-pin header that I was talking about earlier, and the front panel audio connector there on the bottom. Now the sound card is the Realtek ALC 1150, which was the same chip that they used on the Z370 GT6 that I reviewed recently. So the it'll be at the top here. I'll just make sure that pops up now. Moving round. Oh no, I've completely missed the M.2 slots here, haven't I? So this bottom one here is what I would call the first slot, and this is wired for 4X, so that will support NVMe and SATA M.2 SSDs, and this top one's only wired for 2X, so really I'd only stick a SATA SSD in that one. So if you're going to populate the 2, you know, use the bottom one first. Okay, so we're moving on to the rear panel. We're going to start here on the left hand side. We have a PS2 keyboard and mouse combo port. Now it is just coloured purple, but it does accept keyboard and mouse. Underneath that we have 2 USB 2s. Next to that VGA and DVI-D. Next to that we have HDMI, and that is a 1.4 connector. Next to that we have a USB 3.1 Gen 2 port and a Type-C Gen 2 port as well. And then next to that we have 2 USB 3.1s, just generation 1, so that's 5 gigabits a second instead of the 10 gigabit a second that you get with these. Next to that we have Intel's i219V gigabit LAN port, and then just the standard 6 audio connectors that you get as per normal. Right, that's it with the look around the board. Let's run some benchmarks. Alright, so while we're here we might as well take a look at what you get inside the box. So we'll open it up, take out the cover there, start with the manual. We have the BIOSTAR Racing, wait a minute, what is that? It's a 390 GT3, hint, B360GT3S. So that's just the user manual, a whole bunch of different languages, and also comes with a driver DVD. Next we have the just plain metal I/O shield, and then it's just 4 black SATA cables. That's actually it. That's all you get included in the box. Let's just move on to the conclusion. So the BIOSTAR B360GT3S, in my opinion, it's actually quite an appealing board. From some searching on the internet, it looks like it's going to cost around £80, which for a well-featured B360 motherboard like this is actually a good price in my opinion. The general aesthetic of the board is a lot more subtle than the Z370 GT6 review I did recently, so just check that out there. And I say that just because it has the black motherboard with the grey stripes and racing theme, and I kind of feel like this would appeal to a lot more people. That's just my opinion. Do you agree though? Let me know in the comments below. We'll have a chat about it. The B360 chipset on this motherboard that Intel have created for the 8th generation Coffee Lake processors is actually pretty decent. While it doesn't provide overclocking features, XMP profiles for the RAM can be enabled, but again, obviously, that's limited by the CPU that you put in. So I just thought I'd let you know. Regardless of this fact, the B360 chipset motherboards are going to be more affordable and probably better suited for lower end CPUs or just locked ones. That goes for the i5s and the i7s as well, just ones that you can't overclock. So the non-K SKUs basically. The tests that I performed for this review, obviously that you just saw, are all done with the i3 8350K. So that is unlocked, but obviously you can't overclock it for this, on this board. So yeah, that was just run at stock, but obviously this is the only B360 motherboard review that we've done so far here at Player. So I just compared it to the Z370 motherboards that we've reviewed in the past. So when you compare this to those results, it's actually performed excellent, really, hasn't it? To be honest, it's definitely up there, on par with all those Z370 motherboards. So yeah, when you look at it like that, it's actually done really well for itself. We're going to move on to the motherboard features now. The Intel i219V gigabit LAN, it's a great inclusion. You got USB 3.1, Gen 1 and Gen 2, so you got Gen 1 and then Gen 2 and a Gen 2 Type C as well. So that's obviously what you get with the B360 chipset. But it's still great to see, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's progress. The dual BIOSes, they're hardwired, so they're not removable, but they've included 2 with a rocker switch there as well, so that's pretty decent. And then obviously you got the dual M.2 slots. This bottom one here is the 4X slot. So that is what you would use for NVMe drives. And then obviously the top one is just a 2X speed, so you could use that for, you know, traditional SATA M.2 SSDs. So that's great. The inclusion, much like the Z370GT6 of the onboard audio LED lights, that's this little strip just down here. And then obviously you get two of the 4-pin 50/50 LED headers up in the top here. Is good. You know, they included that the same on the Z370GT6 review I did recently as well, so it's great to see that included on this board, as well as the ability to actually just not use them or disable it, and that's in the Vivid LED DJ as well, you know, if that's your thing, if you don't want it, but if you do, it's there. It's a nice little inclusion, so I just thought I'd mention it. There's the two 4-pin fan headers, one at the top, one at the bottom. It would have been nice to see a third, I think, in my opinion. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that as well. But you just get the one at the top and the one at the bottom. That is it. Yeah, that is it. But you know, they've included the AI fan software in the BIOS as well, and that's just control the speeds of those. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that as well. Nice little inclusion. You get 6 SATA 3 6 gigabit a second connectors, and that's perfect as well. Though you know, when you do populate these M.2 slots, it's going to disable the SATA 3 number 1, which is just that top one there. So yeah, just bear that in mind. But I think that's been the case for a while, isn't it? You know, when you use the that's just when you use the SATA M.2. Yeah, it's just obviously going to disable one of those ports, but it's been like that for a while, hasn't it? But just another thing to mention. Finally, audio is provided by the Realtek ALC 1150 chip, and to be honest, I wasn't really expecting the better 1220 just, you know, on this board. So yeah, the 1150 is actually probably about right. Taking all that into effect though, great board, very happy with it. So I'm going to give the BIOSTAR Z370GT6 Silver Award and the Editor's Choice Award, because you know, it's a fairly feature-rich board. Obviously, it could have included more. You know, things like wireless and stuff like that, but not everybody wants it. So yeah, that's the reason why it's got those awards. But yeah, like I say, you know, it's for an M80X board as well. It's what it comes with. Yeah, is very good, very good. I'm sure you'll agree. Finally, a big thank you to BIOSTAR for sending the board in for review. It's always great when I get to play with toys. So yeah, thanks again to BIOSTAR for that. That's it. I've been Dave from Player TV. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, sorry, thumbs down. Yeah, leave a comment below what you think about the board. Be interested to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to us on Player TV and ring the bell notification to get a notification when more videos get released. I'm obviously going to try and do more as much as possible. Yeah, so I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.